we are recording. So now we just fill for a minute, and then we'll do the thing. Let's see. How do we
Yay.
fill for a minute? Ugh. With hiccups? Preferably not. How about a terrible joke?
Sounds
Okay.
great.
Oh, here's a classic one. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? See, Mike knows this one.
I don't know this one.
Because
So.
the P is silent.
I love it. That's actually great.
Why do cows wear bells?
Why do I get the sense that Mike knows all of these?
I'm surprised that I.
What is it, Mike?
Go ahead.
It says
Because their horns don't work.
Because their horns don't work. This is just for the people watching the YouTube version and anyone here live, because this all gets cut out from the audio version. Where was King David's temple located? It's right next to his ear. All right, and with that, that's enough time to make sure that the recording kicked in. I feel bad about that one.
no. That was great. Are you getting these off of like deadjokes.com or?
I just did a search for terrible jokes and then clicked on the first link, so I don't even know. But okay, here we go. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Manapool. This is episode 731 of the Manapool, which, I need not remind you, is not a small number.
Oh.
That was also the first three digits of my phone number growing up.
731?
Yeah, not area code, but the first three digits.
Yeah, the exchange.
I was
That's
okay.
the
I
word,
thought
yeah.
I thought you. I was like, "Where's that the area code for?" I thought you were a local boy.
It is not. I don't know where where is the 731 area code? Area code is the western part of Tennessee. Ugh, screw that.
Hello to our listeners from the western edge of Tennessee. How are you doing?
How can you handle living there? It's so far away. Like back when I used to drive for the car dealership, going to the eastern side of Tennessee took this long, and then going to the western side of Tennessee took that long 2 more times. It's unreal. Anyway, so hello, I'm Chewy. I'm the lead dork. And I have these other dorks here, but I'm going to introduce them because I don't trust them. So, let's see who goes first. Brian goes first. He never shuts up.
That's
Say
true.
hi. There you go.
Hi.
Mike goes
That's
second.
me.
He never knows when to speak.
Okay, I think Brian
Like
said
right
a
now,
decent
he should be talking.
example.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah, Brian, are you on a delay?
No. That was me messing with Mike because that's what I do.
That's what I figured.
Oh my god. And then there's Dirk, who is over there somewhere. You know, to the left.
Amen. Yep, that's me. Sending my kids to bed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, to the left, sending his kids to bed. So,
That's me.
this week, we're going back to Edge of Eternities. We're going to look at some cards, of course, but also we want to talk about some of the potential ramifications not potential ramekins. That stuff you put salsa in. No, potential ramifications of having a magic in space set. But, you know, we got to talk about some cards first. Originally, the plan was to talk about cards until Mike showed up. But then Mike actually managed to show up before we started the show proper. So,
Wow.
just completely... Mike, I need you to disappear for like half an hour.
Got it.
No, Mike, don't do it.
No.
So what do we want to talk about? Last time we looked at the planets.
Looked at the planets, the characters, and some of the other station stuff like spaceships.
Yeah, we
or
looked at some of the
starcraft.
big ships.
But we did not look at all of them. There are cycles of ships, so
Yeah.
and I think that's about it. There's a ton of extra stuff in the set too, and we hit random stuff here and there, but there's a lot left.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of jellyfish.
Ooh, I got a
Yeah,
card
there
I
is.
want Dirk to read.
Okay.
Okay.
De-Infiltrator says potential ramekins are for salsa at rest. Once they are yeeted, they become kinetic ramekins.
Nice.
See,
Oh my
I'm not even a science person, and I get that, and that's great.
Considering that's like elementary school science, I'm glad you get that.
Well, that's physics. Physics is, high school.
So Dirk,
Yes,
are you here?
I'm here.
In green, naturally, because you are typecast, I would like you to read the Ouroboros.
Sorry, I played with this online, and it's utterly ridiculous.
What was it
Yeah.
again?
Ouroboros. Sort of like Ouroboros, but no.
Okay, or a boroid. All right, so for two and two greens, so a total of 4. It's a 1/3 plant worm. That's mythic. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power.
That is the appropriate response, yeah.
I don't see anything bad happening with that.
You may go like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool at first. This thing is ridiculous. Read the flavor text.
I found a strange vine in the ice, thawing for further analysis. Melt Strider log, final entry.
Oh God.
hmm
So
It
I
does
thought-
the computer thing. It doubles every turn.
yeah, this is without shenanigans. This thing, if you play like a 2-drop and a 3-drop and then this, just takes over the game. The fact that it does it on its first turn, and you can swing with the other stuff, you're automatically giving your stuff a +1/+1 counter without shenanigans is great. And if they don't kill it immediately, even playing this fair, it's great, and it will take over the game. And I got a copy of this through a draft, and I threw it into my Abzan +1/+1 counters deck, and it's kind of stupid. I've had more than one game where I play it on turn 4 or turn 5, and it comes in with 3 +1/+1 counters on it already, and I just then swing for 20. So,
Nobody
with
told
the
me I
creatures
wasn't
I've already
on,
got.
I wasn't on the card image gallery, so I was just sitting here and everyone was looking at our dorky asses while we're talking about a card.
Oh, whoops.
My bad.
Yeah, as with everything with a +1/+1 and all, it goes great in a Simic style deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there's a blue-green uncommon. I can't remember the name right now. I'll try to. I don't know if I just try to find it while I'm talking or try to find it later.
Well,
It's a 1/3 with flying for a blue and a green, and it has a landfall ability.
it's a rare.
It's a
called
rare. Oh,
It's
It is
called
a rare, yeah.
Genomorph. It's called Genomorph Imago if you want to read it.
okay.
And it
I guess that
needs
makes
to
more
be a rare. So
sense. Yeah, the Xenomorph Imago. It's a 1/3 with flying, has a landfall ability. And whenever a land you control enters, target creature has base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. If you control 6 or more lands, that creature has base power and toughness 6/6 until end of turn instead.
Oh,
It's
I see what
already
you
really
did.
good.
Hmm.
It's
So-
already really good.
You target
Sorry,
the
go ahead, Joey.
Ouroboros with it, and things get massively out of control immediately.
Immediately, yeah. Hmm.
Because unlike a card where maybe it's like, okay, for every +1/+1 counter on this, put a +1/+1 counter on your other creature. This pumps everything, including itself. The Ouroboros pumps itself by its power,
Yeah.
and it's a base 1/3.
Yeah.
So
When I first read this, I was like, so you play it in your first main phase, and then you just like giant growth it or something, and then you win the video game, right? Or the card game,
Yeah.
however you're playing.
basically, but this just means play a land, which you should be. And the fact that this is a 2-drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And I've seen drafts where the Xenomorph by itself without anything else is just silly because you're not spending any additional mana. You're just
No.
playing lands for a really good effect.
So now hang
Yeah,
on.
and even if it's targeting itself, you just have a 6/6 flyer over and over, which is great.
Yeah.
right? And remind me, it's been a while since I played Magic, but playing lands is a thing you want to be doing, right?
Yes,
anyway.
I recommend it very highly.
Yeah.
5 stars. would play again.
I think the games where you don't get to play lands are sad face.
The worst.
It's accurate.
I am so glad that we're in an era of Magic right now, even though I don't play too much, where it's a lot harder to bounce lands. Like, you don't have boomerangs anymore. And that's a good thing. Do you remember the old
Owling Mine deck.
Owling Mine? You know it. The Owling Mine deck where it had like 4 boomerangs and 4 Mind's Eye or whatever it was that was based a
I have
source.
nowhere.
Eye of Nowhere. So, like, you knew if you were playing against that deck, on turn 2, your land was getting bounced, and you're like, yay.
I lost. What's his name? Kevin was playing that at like a little F&M at that what used to be a comic shop in Winston next to the theater.
Hmm.
Like there were like 6 or 8 of us for F&M one night, and freaking Kevin brought Owling Mine. And I had to play him first round. And I got to play, I think, one card that wasn't a land that promptly got bounced. And I was like, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I remember a game at the Toy Factory where I was playing a multicolored deck that also was leaning on the Ravnica Karoo lands. So I'm also bouncing
you
my
were
lands. So I'm
screwed.
sitting there yeah, I was. So turn 2, I'm like, Orzhov Basilica, bounce my planes, and he's like, Eye of Nowhere, and I'm like, oh my god. And later he asked me, it's like, why did you keep playing those? And I'm like, I can't just sit there and not play. I have to try to do something.
Wow, that's like, why did you keep playing your deck when I was so obviously,
after that was my answer, I can't just stop playing. He said, oh,
Right.
well, yeah, I guess you're right. So at least he saw my point.
Did he really?
So for those of you that aren't old, this deck ran Howling Mine so that everyone drew extra cards.
Mm-hmm.
And it ran, like Brian said, the 8 2-mana bounce things that could target lands, because a lot of bounce spells back then did not specify non-land.
Yeah.
And it ran Ebony Owl Netsuke, which essentially dealt damage to you based on the number of cards in your hand over 4. If you had more than 4 cards in hand, you took some amount of damage, I think.
You lost 4 life or something.
Yeah, and its whole plan was to just play out those 2 artifacts and then bounce your stuff so that you couldn't play anything, so that you just died in like 4 turns.
Yeah.
Or something. And it was.
And hey, I mean, it was a good deck. It was a deck that did well for the meta at the time. It was very much a product of the metagame.
Yeah, and it was insanely frustrating to play against because it kept you from playing the game at all, which is just ridiculously bad.
The fact that it was... I don't so much blame the people that made the deck and played the deck. I blame the game for allowing the deck to exist.
Yeah. I blame Kevin for bringing it to a super casual Friday Night Magic that only had like 6-7 people in it.
There's that too.
Like he was a pretty decent guy, but I really hated him for like 6 months after that.
I'm generally hate the game, not don't hate the player, hate the game. Although if you want more information on that, you should listen to an episode we did a while ago about hating the player. But I mean, WotC's the one that makes the cards, and then the players are the ones that discover the interactions. But maybe if you're playing a deck at a super casual event, like Chewy said, where the entire point of the deck is for your opponents to not just not win, but like not play the game, then
Yeah. But anyway. Ow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it had Kami the Crescent Moon, which was just a Howling Mine on legs that also only cost 2 mana.
That's right.
It was ridiculous. Like stupidly
very
efficient.
much.
Didn't the owl cost 2 mana? Just everything cost 2 mana.
Yeah. 2 mana.
Yeah. Ugh. That was stupid.
Because you could spend like 3 turns bouncing lands and then finally just drop like 2 or 3 of those at the same time.
Anyway,
but
back to this set. I just wanted Dirk to see the big scary green thing that, like, in the art has grown so large as to be visible
from space. The size of a planet,
from space.
almost.
Do what?
That grew to almost the size of a planet.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of cards that... I know this isn't where Chewy was going with this, but cards that I was kind of aware of a couple weeks ago when we started our examination, but to my mind have like just blown up. Chewy,
Yes.
have you seen
Probably not.
Space-Time Anomaly?
Color.
It's multicolored.
I'm gonna guess not, although I like the name.
Okay.
There's the fancy version. Where is it? Space-Time Anomaly. Here it is. No, I have not seen this. What does this do? Oh, did you want me to read it?
Do? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It's a rare for 2, a white and a blue sorcery. Oh my god. Seriously? Target player mills cards equal to your life total.
So I saw this card, and I was like, that's... And I saw it in a draft, and I'm like,
Ugh.
that seems pretty good.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it because I'm like, in draft, if you go against the wrong deck, this is maybe milling them for like 8 by the time you get it. More than that if you're lucky. And then I played against a guy who the people at his digital table, who I went to smack, let him get 3 copies of it. I don't know how you win against a deck like that, because even if they're milling you for 10 each time, you're starting out with a 40 card deck and you're drawing 7 right away. So, but then I began to see this in standard. Mike, I don't know how much you've played on Arena the last couple weeks, but I've seen this has not been ubiquitous, but I've seen a decent number of decks with this, where it's basically like play a lot of the life game, like play the rabbit that gets you life whenever you play something else, play the white enchantment that opponent's creatures come and tapped and get you a life every time, and some creature destruction, and then this, and boom, this and the card right next to it in an Esper deck, but I've seen more of the straight blue-white. But right next to this is Singularity Rupture for 3, a blue and 2 black, as a sorcery rare. Destroy all creatures. then any number of target players each mill half their library, rounded down. Which, yes,
That's just
multiplayer
mean.
mill.
That is
This
just
could-
mean.
But it's all, I mean, like, so the question of whether or not you can even do mill in multiplayer without it being like, you can break so many things in multiplayer or Commander. Commander being what I'm thinking of when I say multiplayer. But mill in general is harder the more opponents you have because so many things are like target player mills, and you have many more decks to get through. But something like this destroys everything that would kill you, and then any number of players. Which, yes, thank you, Mike. I'm sure you can target yourself with this if you really want to. So yeah, some decent mill stuff in this set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Go
only
ahead, Mike.
play Brawl, but I feel like the commander from that one blue-white commander from Final Fantasy, who at the end of your turn, your opponent mills for how much life you gained.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like
Hope.
that commander has gotten more popular.
I
And of course, Space-Time Anomaly has shown up in the deck.
I built a Hope mill deck, and it's great. And I have not even put Space-Time Anomaly into it yet. It's a lot of fun, and half the time I win with just being aggressive and like gaining enough life that I don't die. And the other half I actually do mill people out. So, and I have not even put this in yet.
Yep.
Ooh.
Right. Well,
Am I the baddies? I may be the baddies.
You might be the baddies. I don't know.
Mike,
what
what's
that means.
something that stood out to you?
Yeah, Mike.
You on the spot.
Nope.
Let me
He
see.
wandered away.
No, I'm still here. So I know we're going to talk about this later, but let me see. Let me go to the artifacts.
Why wait? Do it now.
Yeah. So it's come on, card image gallery. Don't do this to me now. So it's okay. While I'm trying to find it, I'll start describing it. It's a big spaceship. It costs 8, and it has a big effect when it hits the battlefield.
The extinguisher?
That sounds right.
We talked about it last week,
Yeah, we talked about that last week. The one that destroys a
Okay.
non-creature permanent?
Okay,
and then deals 4 damage to each creature.
Yeah.
I forgot we talked about it.
Yep. Was there something else you wanted to say about it real quick before we go to something new?
Well, I can't remember what I said on this point, but yeah, it is really easy to station it up, crew it. I want to say crew it up, but crew means something completely different, and that's really inconvenient.
It really is.
It is.
But we know
But
what you
it's-
mean.
It
It's
is,
really-
but it's also what it feels like, you know?
Yeah, it's really it is really easy to station it up at that stage in the game, because you either do have some other creature that survived the blast, or the next turn you can easily play some creature with 5 or more power.
Especially
get it
with
going.
warp. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Warp.
Warp.
Did we talk about the end stone last week? I don't think we did.
We did, but
We did?
yeah, because we mentioned how you thought it was a drawback to have reset to your life total, and then you kept thinking about it. You're like, wait, no,
Oh.
never mind.
Yeah, we did
We
talk
covered-
about it.
I
We
have
covered
no
a lot of
memory
the
that
artifacts.
conversation.
We did not cover the Dominion bracelet.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that one.
Go for it, Dirk.
So for 2, it's a legendary artifact equipment that's mythic and equips for 1. All right, mythic equips for 1, costs 2.
Lame.
So equipped creature has +1/+1. Great, and has for 15 mana. Exile the the Domination Bracelet.
No,
You
you had it right
control-
the first time. The dumb bracelet.
Exile the Domination Bracelet. You control target opponent during their next turn. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is this creature's power. Activate only as a sorcery. So it's kind of like, is it Warp World, where you get to take another turn?
No,
So I mean,
not at
you
all.
do get another turn, but you also get to control the other person's turn as well. So
Warp World does not do that, but Time Warp does.
Time Warp, that's what it was. My bad.
But I think the best comparison is to Mind Slaver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it only costs 15. Minus, whatever. I do like.
Grand total of 18 if you just have 18 mana just laying around and this card and be like, you know what?
Nope,
I feel
nope.
like taking their turn.
17.
It does
Roll their turn.
give the creature +1/+1, which
Yeah.
yes, I know that's not terribly high, but you
that
really
does cover
don't
the
want
equip
it.
cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Chat, what do you guys want us to cover? Since, you're here. Let's go up to, white. What's in white?
Bunch of angels.
I'm a little concerned about Beyond the Quiet.
Why are you concerned about it?
Because it's a wrath that says exile. For 3 white, it says exile all creatures and spacecraft.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no kidding. You remember when exile all creatures took 8 mana back in the day?
Well, I'm trying to think. What was the
Final Judgment was the first to really do it.
Final Judgment with that picture of Okagachi in
6, yeah,
Kamigawa
there we
block,
go.
right? Was the straight up no other qualifiers, anything like that? Just like Wrath was 4.
I guess Apocalypse technically did that, but
Shut up, Mike.
Apocalypse was not symmetrical at all.
Hey, look at
you and
Dirk
your red
resubbing
Wraths.
for the 45th month. I didn't hear a sound for that, but hey, thanks, Dirk.
No problem.
Why didn't I
But
hear a sound
yeah.
for that?
But yeah, Beyond the Quiet being 5 mana is really good. So, and the fact that it is exile and it gets around stuff like that stupid assassin I'm tired of seeing that you can't actually get rid of. Or
Steve?
Yeah, Steve. The one that, knocks off half your life total.
Oh, you're talking about a card. Okay, never mind.
Oh, you mean Steve the assassin that lives next to you? He's
Yeah,
cool.
Steve, my assassin, who I can't get rid of. He's really
He's
bad at
alright.
his job, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should stop having him over for ZD.
I mean,
Then he'll leave you alone.
I don't make
Who else is gonna eat all this ZD?
Oh my god. There's
But,
also.
I mean-
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna move on to a different card.
No, well, removal is good removal. So, but go ahead and move on to another card.
Yeah, I just read Cosmogrand Zenith over here on the same row and almost pooped.
So, Cosmogrand Zenith makes Chewy poop. It costs 2 and a white. It's a human soldier. It is mythic for a good reason, and it is a 2/4. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose 1. Create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. There is a minor theme in some of the cards in this set of when you cast your second spell each turn, do whatever. And it kind of goes well with some cards in the last couple sets, including Tarkir Dragonstorm, where that was a major theme for the Jeskai. Which, look, this is white, so haha.
Aha.
But this doesn't take long to get out of control, and when you cast a spell for warp, you are casting the spell when you cast it for its warp cost, and on a future turn when you bring it in, you are casting it again, which means you're getting 2 casts out of the same card, not in the same turn, but one for a reduced cost. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is really good. And
Somehow I missed some important things about this card. I've read it several times, but for some reason I thought it was like a 3/2 or like that it costs 4 or something. I just did not realize it was a 2/4 for 3.
There are a lot
highly
of
efficient.
things this card doesn't say, including everything Mike just said.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things the card does say, which are the things that I read originally.
And they are terrifying. But
And
yeah.
it doesn't seem, nothing about it, I think. I feel like this one at first glance, you're like, why is this mythic? And then when you see it, you're like, oh.
Yeah, once you get run over by it, you're like, oh, okay, they didn't want that in draft. Jesus.
Yeah, this is like Monastery Mentor level.
Right? And then, like, right next to it, just Brian said there was a theme. Right next to it, the Bright Spear Zealot. For 2 and a white is a 2/4 with Vigilance at common. But it says, this creature gets +2/+0 as long as you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. And suddenly having a 4/4 Vigilance is,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's... If you're playing with instants, both of the... Like, these will also work on enemy turns.
Right.
That is correct.
Ooh. That's gross. Okay, we got a suggestion from chat.
Okay.
A red common.
Right. What's it called?
What is it? Caveron Turbo Drone. That's a cool name. Here we go. Caveron Turbo Drone? Caveron? Probably Caveron. For 2 and a red, it's a common 2/3 artifact creature robot scout. Okay. And it says tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. I see why that would be your favorite common in the set. Yeah. That is that's fun.
Yeah, tapping for haste is pretty cool, but +1/+1 in haste is a big difference.
You wouldn't think so, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Definitely plays in the red.
Donovan's
Works
saying.
well with warp.
Yep, that's what Donovan's saying in the chat right now.
Oh yeah.
I
I was like, wait, doesn't warp give haste? No, we were talking
It does
about
not.
Nope.
the red legendary dude.
That's right.
The red Kavu
Yeah.
that I was gushing about.
Like I had to go over and read this card over here that has warp. I'm like, that doesn't say anything about haste. Oh, that was because of that other card. I'm not dumb. You're dumb. Shut up. I'm dumb. But yeah, like playing that the big 9/9 that warps for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Just tap it and swing for 10.
Yeah.
That was a cool sound. I apologize. Nice. Well played. I like this card. I think he's cute, and I want him to come to my birthday party.
Yeah.
Does anybody else think that on Rust Harvester, the thing kind of almost looks like the Jawa Sandcrawler, at least the front part of it?
Yeah.
With
Thank you.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah. And the question is, was that deliberate?
Could have been.
Given the name, actually, it's entirely possible.
It is a scavenger type thing too.
But what's it do, Brian?
Oh, well, for a single red, the Rust Harvester is an artifact creature, robot. It's rare. For a 1/1 with menace, yes. But pay attention to this. So for 2 and tap, and exile an artifact card from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, then it deals damage equal to its power to any target.
Ooh,
So,
that's fun.
even if like you're not attacking with it, you're still attacking with it because the opponent can be any target, or you're blowing up their creatures.
I mean,
So,
you play it.
yeah.
You play it for 1.
Mhm.
Whatever, and then next turn, you just shock something without having to spend a card.
Without
Because
having to
surely
spend a
you've
card.
got if you've got this in your deck, surely you've got artifacts that are going to be going to the graveyard.
Right. And once you get past the second or third activation, if you can keep feeding it, I would imagine, I haven't played with this card, but I imagine the potential for how long before this gets to be a big problem. And not to mention, I think on its own it does a great job, but you probably have other ways of sneaking +1/+1 counters onto it as well to, you know, feed it along.
Yeah, I would say after like a shock and a bolt, this thing is now an actual problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because now it's a 4/4 with menace, and you can throw 4 damage around willy nilly.
And I mean, it's instant speed, so
Yeah. Like, oh, into my turn, exile this, hit you in the face for 4. Lightning blast your only blocker at my turn. Lightning blast? That was 4 mana, right? Or 4 damage, right?
Yeah. 4 damage. Mm-hmm.
Is it bad that that's how far back my brain had to go to hit a 4 damage red spell? Like, I couldn't say
think
char,
I like this.
because char did you damage, so that's not it.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm having trouble remembering that sorcery that did 4 damage to a creature. Well, that was just to a creature. Never mind.
Oh, Donovan said, Chewy, I'm almost as bad. My go-to is Flame Javelin.
That's much better. Flame Javelin
is like, what, like a decade more recent than Lightning Blast?
Yeah.
I'm still just gonna, if I ever get this card, I'm still just gonna say Utini whenever I play it.
I mean, clearly. Oh yeah, and it's scrapping things. That's totally on purpose.
Yeah, it's on purpose.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I hate to say it, but we haven't looked at anything in blue. Really?
Yeah. I saw a blue legend. I was trying to pronounce his name the other day, and I'm like,
Is it
nope.
Memnon?
I wouldn't really know, would I? Because I'm not good at pronouncing things.
Memnon. Mamana. Oh, he's the right hand, too, so.
But do we have the left hand?
Well, he's a jellyfish. He's got many hands.
What's he do with those many hands, Dirk?
So, Memnon, the right hand, for 3 and 2 blue, so a total of 5. He's a 3/4 jellyfish advisor who's legendary and is rare. He also has flying. And says, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast artifact spells from the top of your library.
Okay.
And artifacts you control have tap, add blue mana. Spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand.
Which can include warped cards.
I was going to say, that works
not
with
in your
warp,
hand.
that works with flashback, that works with its own ability.
Mm-hmm.
And non-creature artifacts you control... Cool. Non-creature artifacts you control don't have summoning sickness.
That's right.
So, I feel like somebody is going to break this one. I feel like somebody's going to chain this one into, like, infinite artifacts.
Yeah. Like, it definitely has what it takes for some kind of, Cheerios style combo deck.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. It's very powerful, but also pretty straightforward.
The only thing I have to say about this card that we haven't already covered is I understand the type lines are species and then class or role, but still, Jellyfish Advisor sounds like someone that advises the jellyfish, not a jellyfish who also advises people.
Or, see, I was thinking Jellyfish Advisor sounds like someone who, during jellyfish season, is the person who's like, don't jump off the pier, you'll be sorry.
Is Jellyfish Advisor, like, is that the title that when you're a nepotist and you control a company, you're like, okay, nephew, you're gonna be the Jellyfish Advisor.
Well, except
my
it would
brother
be like
says
Vice President of Jellyfish Advisory.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. It would definitely have a title like that. So,
I
silly.
hate modern everything. Except for technology and video games. No, I hate modern technology too because freaking AI crap is like crawling into our lives and it's so insidiously. I saw Mickey. You guys know Mickey. Everybody loves Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
She posted a thing about like asking ChatGPT, "Hey, what's that song from Silence of the Lambs and Clerks 2?" And I'm like, "Mickey, honey, you could just do that in a search engine. Please stop using ChatGPT for stupid crap."
Yeah.
That's how they get you. Anyway, hey, if you can avoid using AI, please do. This has been your public service announcement from Chewy. Anyway, what are we going to do now? Oh, look, a null. That makes sense in this set.
there's a null?
Yeah, it's an uncommon. Oh, wait a minute. What about something in black? We haven't looked at black yet. Let's look at black. Black's my favorite
Where's the
color.
null?
Do what?
Where's the null?
I know it's.
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought you said there's a null, and I thought that you meant like a creature type or something. I'm like, what?
No, a null, the counter target. What was it?
Okay.
Artifact or enchantment?
Artifact or enchantment spell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you before we move to black? Have you seen the atomic microsizer?
That's really cool.
No.
It does a lot. Mike, why don't you tell us what it does? Because it does a lot. Unless you don't want to talk about it.
He's scrolling.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to navigate to it first and come off of mute because I'm trying to manage the podcast and eating my dinner at the same time. It's complicated. So, atomic microsizer. The card image gallery does not want to show me the image for it.
So, atomic microsizer for a single blue is an equipment. It's an artifact equipment. It's an uncommon. The equipped creature gets +1/+0 and equips for 2. I think it's really good. It's very efficient. I like it. Oh, it has more words. So, whenever equipped creature attacks, choose up to one target creature. That creature can't be blocked this turn and has base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. So the straightforward application is you put this on your creature, and if you want to make sure that you're getting through all of their defenses, you just attack every turn, target itself, it becomes a 2/1 because of the power bonus, and you hit for 2. That's the most basic thing. However, this doesn't remove counters, like +1/+1 counters. It doesn't remove abilities, like when this creature deals damage to a player, draw a card, for example. That's only been on lots of creatures. And then you get to the fun stuff where you're like, you know what? I think my creature can get through just fine, but just to be safe, let's turn the opponent's, 8/8 that might want to block this into a 2/2. So it has lots of different applications.
And it's
And
not
I
required to
like
microsize the equipped creature either.
correct. You can target any target creature.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
I like it.
It's a floor wax. It's a dessert topping.
And it makes julienne fries
It does.
or julienne jellyfish.
Thousands
you
of
wanted
them.
But you wanted to move to black. Was there
And
something in black that caught your eye?
And
Or
it comes straight out of the Chewy school of magic, which I already forgot if I had a name for it, but all I remember is more options, more
or
better.
I think I passed that class.
I think you did, yeah. And no, I just realized we hadn't talked about any cards in black, and black is my color.
Black is your color.
Okay, here's a rare that looks menacing.
Okay.
The Elegy Acolyte.
Okay.
For 2 black, it's a human cleric that's rare. It's a 4/4 with lifelink. Oh. A 4/4 for 4 with lifelink, and then 2 paragraphs of text. Alright, I'm digging it. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. That's amazing. Okay, that works well with the atomic microsizer.
It does.
And then it has Void. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn, because that's what Void is, you just create a 2/2 robot. Huh.
Yeah, and it doesn't even come in tapped.
Yeah.
So it's sitting there, it can block, and then because Warp doesn't care about whether the non-land permanent was a card or a token, if, next turn you send that robot into combat and it's like the only thing that dies, you just get another robot to replace it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's... When I said, here's one that looks cool, that looks menacing, that is menacing. That is, that is efficient.
It's really
Yeah.
good. Mm-hmm.
It's for its cost, it's great. And that lifelink, I'm sure adds up. So
Dude, 4/4 with lifelink?
Mm-hmm.
for 4 mana with 2 very relevant abilities.
And, like, you're only losing 1 life to draw... To the draw? Like, that
You're
should
only
probably
losing
be 2
life.
life.
You're only losing 1 life, and this thing has built-in lifelink. Now, this only triggers once a turn, no matter how many creatures you deal damage with.
Yeah.
So
Thank goodness.
there, I think, is Gix still in standard, or no? I think Gix just rotated out, which is good.
Yeah.
But Gix had, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage, you may pay 1 life to draw a card. So, goodbye, Gix. But yeah, this is really good. I like this.
I also
Dirk.
really like the card next to it. Dubious
Dirk,
Delicacy.
have you
Yep.
seen Dubious Delicacy? It's awesome.
Dubious
Yeah.
Delicacy. I have not. I'll read it and see what we got. So for 2 and a black, it's an artifact food that's uncommon and has flash. When this artifact enters, up to 1 target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. I don't know if I want to eat that food. So for 2 and tap, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life.
That's what foods do.
For 2 and tap, sacrifice this artifact, target opponent loses 3 life.
This is so cool. It's a removal spell that
It just sort of
doubles.
sits there.
Yeah, that then doubles as your standard food or as an anti-food.
Anti-food, I like that. And the flavor text.
It's an acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste.
This is really cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. First time I saw it, I was like, an opponent played it, and I'm like, this is a ton of words. How does it do all the things? And it does all the things because it just does.
Yeah, this is another one of those, more options, bam, more better.
Yeah.
Because this could have just as easily been a 3 mana, target creature gets -3/-3, and then opponent loses 3 life or whatever.
Right.
But this is way more flavorful and strategical. That's a word.
Well, I know Chewy just took a card, but your whole thing, more options, more better. Have you seen Archenemy's Charm at the top of black?
I saw the name in the art. I did not read the card.
You should read the text.
All right, it's a rare charm for black. Is there a cycle of charms?
No.
Oh.
No, but this is this follows along art from Archmage's Charm.
Oh,
blue,
okay.
blue charm that was printed that was somewhere in the last several years.
Okay, so Archenemy's Charm has your standard thing. Choose one, and there are 3 options. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Pretty good for 3 black mana, yeah. Return 1 or 2, target creature and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. That's really good for 3 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Or put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. It gains lifelink until end of turn. So it's got removal, combat trick, and third option.
Mm-hmm.
Which that feels like what charms should do. Like there should be the one that's the obvious choice, the one that is like the backup when applicable, and then the third one that's sort of niche.
Yeah.
And then this one doesn't even have the niche one. It's got the one. They're all obvious choices, honestly.
Yeah. This to me feels very efficient. And yes, it is 3 black mana, so it's not going to go in every deck. But all of these are good options. None of them feel like I hate to use it here,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even that removal is exile. So.
And it can hit planeswalkers, which is gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the ability to, return a creature and a planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah. Oh, Donovan Bain said there was also Archdruid's Charm at some point.
That's right. So we're missing the white one and the red one.
What would the white one be?
Archduke?
Friend? Archfriend. Archfriend's Charm.
Archbishop.
And the red one would be...
Oh, Archangel's Charm. Oh, that's good.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, Donovan also said Requiem Monolith is something we've never seen in black. Ooh, I like stuff we've never seen.
Okay.
Requiem. Oh, it's right there, stupid. All right. Anyone want to read Requiem Monolith?
This feels like a Mike card.
It's very weird. And I've spent time thinking about, it's like, should I play this? Can I play this? Can I use it? How useful is it? I don't know. It's a rare artifact that costs 2 and a black. And its ability is tap until end of turn, target creature gains. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, you draw that many cards and lose that much life. That creature's controller may have this artifact deal 1 damage to it. Activate only as a sorcery.
Okay, that is super weird.
It is.
Okay, so let's break this down. It's sorcery speed, so this cannot be done in response to combat or
That's right.
Or a trick or a spell or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you can choose to, so it's not a waste, you can choose to ping the thing you're targeting and go ahead and draw a card and lose a life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I see this as being target this, ping it, draw a card, lose a life, attack, You gonna
And
block
see
it with
what
your
happens.
3/3? You gonna give me 3 more cards? Give me 3 more cards, I dare you.
But then it's like, because there's that May, and because it can also target other people's creature,
Oh God, it
puts that question,
can.
it puts that question out there. It's like, what else can you do with this?
My
To-
brain inserted you control.
Yeah, what else can you do with this to turn damage to an opponent's creature into life loss for them and stuffing cards in their hand? But what are there other things you can do to make that part okay? It's like big puzzle.
Oh my God, the creature gets it.
So-
oh my God, what else
so-
can you do with this?
Isn't there? There's the artifact creature in standard that has, at the beginning of your upkeep, you and each player draw a card, and whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose a life, right? So
Wait, what?
I'll look it up.
Say
Which
that
way?
again. What?
There,
Are you talking about that one with Void or something else?
no, I'm. Hold on, I'll find it.
Okay. Oh, Donovan said, use it with blasphemous act.
Ugh.
There you go.
Make your opponent lose
Oh,
13 life and draw
oh.
13 cards.
Oh, the spaceship that when you attack, you deal 100 damage to something.
That's right.
Is that the Dawnsire? Is that one?
The
Yeah.
Dawnsire,
think so,
yes, yes.
Oh, which chat already also said.
Okay.
Thank you, chat. That's
They've
pretty
changed
funny.
how Gatherer looks, and I don't like it. But
Oh, have they?
yes,
That's
Yeah,
I basically
I'm
only use
impressed.
Scryfall anymore because Gatherer is crap.
They finally took out the non-functional comment section.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, what have they done to Gatherer? Let's go look real quick, chat. Wow, since everyone else is at whoa. Oh, this
Yeah.
looks more usable. Mana value. Oh, it's a line. Oh, that's adorable.
Okay, I don't know if I've tried to use it on the browser, so it sounds like some of those filters might be remade to work more like they do on the companion app.
I've never used the companion app, so you might be right. All right then. It is surprisingly functional UI, considering it came from Wizards, who are really good at designing cards, and that's literally everything they're good at.
okay. So I think I might like it a little more than I did. It just I was not expecting it to be. Scrolling Crawler is the card I was referencing. Scrawling Crawler for 3 mana is in Foundations. Phyrexian Construct. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card, and whenever an opponent draws a card, that player loses 1 life. So if this is out, and you ping one of their creatures right before you attack, it may turn it into that they simply can't block with that creature, or they're gonna draw a bunch of cards and lose a bunch of life to the monolith, and then if you have out the crawler, that damage is doubled. It may just be the game is over. So
Scrawling Crawler is a trip. We didn't talk about Foundations at all on the show, did we? Which means
we
I
did
have not
not.
seen any of it. This card is really cool.
You know how much I love Underworld Dreams, which, as a reminder, costs 3 black, and here they're like, yeah, let's put it on a colorless creature, which means you can, put it in blue. Trade secrets, anybody?
Oh my god.
Hey, Dirk, I know you want to draw some cards.
I also like that the monolith can just pick off like enemy weenies.
Well,
It does draw my card though.
no, but they decide, their controller
They decide.
decides.
Oh, the controller decides. Oh.
Yeah. It lets them decide, do I want my creature or do I want a card?
Which
But-
chances are, if they've got something with only 1 toughness, they would rather have a card. So
Probably. You could definitely use it in multiplayer to be like, hey, who
Hey.
wants to draw a card?
What is? There's a super void.
Yes.
What in the hell is a Sothera the super void? Like, not what's the card do? What the hell is that?
I think it's the black hole that sits at the center of this galaxy.
Yes.
Or the
Sothera,
system?
Sothera is the star for this system that the monoists have collapsed into a super void.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a black hole sun. Won't you come?
to
Exactly.
wash away the rain.
Yeah.
I used to love that song, but it's like a minute and a half too long now. There's like this entire section that's just him repeating Black Hole Sun. And I'm like, stop. Oh well. It's weird how tastes change as you get older.
Yeah.
What does this thing do? Okay, I'll read it. Sothera the Super Void. For 2 black is a mythic legendary enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. Oh, it's that. So that's almost a
Grave Pact.
Grave Pact. Thank you. Almost.
Almost.
At the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creatures, this is turning into not Grave Pact. What is it?
This is turning into the Abyss.
The
Not
Abyss. That's the one.
Is it
Okay, at the
Abyss?
beginning of
Yeah.
your end step, if a player controls no creatures, sacrifice Sothera, okay, then put a creature exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Well, that's fun.
I saw this card, and I was like, that seems pretty cool. And then I encountered it against a white-black deck, and there are a couple things in this set that to me are almost ruined or exploited by what is the mechanic from the Mardu mechanic from Dragonstorm, where you make a bunch of
Mobilize.
warrior tokens. What's that? Mobilize?
Yeah.
Yeah. They played a turn 3 0/4 mobilize for 3 ox or whatever that thing is. I'm like, okay, cool, and I'm building up my board. And they played a turn 4 Sothera the Super Void. I'm like, huh. And then they attacked and created 3 tokens, which I could block and kill easily enough, but at the end of the turn, either I block them and I start sacrificing my own creatures now, or I let them go through, and at the end of the turn, I'm going to sack them anyway to this. Because Mobilize, it turns out, works out really, really well with Void, the mechanic, let alone the Super Void. And I went from having like 4 decent-sized creatures to an empty board, and they then took my best creature from that and got it but bigger. So it looks cute, but that experience kind of soured me on it. Thank you, Mobilize.
Yeah. I'm not sure what cards you guys were thinking of, but the Abyss doesn't go away if no one controls any creatures. Pestilence does, but I don't think you were thinking about Pestilence.
No.
Isn't there a at the end of each player's turn, that player sacks a creature, and if they can't, you sacrifice the enchantment?
There is something like that, but I don't remember the name of it.
It's not called the Abyss.
Abyss happens during the upkeep.
Okay.
So yeah, I was thinking of whatever that is.
So was I.
Is it Pillar Tombs of Aku?
Do what?
No, not quite.
Alright.
I was thinking Pillar Tombs of Aku, but that's not quite right.
Call of the Grave? Oh, is that the one? That might be it.
Oh, I haven't thought about that card in a long time.
I can see the art though.
Uh-huh.
Now I
Hey, Dirk, do you like Megram effects?
Always.
All right, look at Entropic Battle Cruiser.
Is that in black?
Yes.
There is no call. Oh, Call to the Grave. Okay, I'm like, I can't find Call of the Grave.
All right. Entropic Battle Cruiser for three and a black. Blah blah. It has battle station. It is a spacecraft that is rare. Its 1+ station ability is whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life.
Okay.
And the 8+ station effect is flying death touch. When this spacecraft attacks, each opponent discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life.
So there's losing 3 life regardless.
Yeah. Because part of the problem with discard decks is sometimes the opponent is like, okay, I'm going to develop my board, and then I'm just going to play off the top. And unless you can Wrath or something, I'll be okay. And this is just like, nope. It's also, Dirk didn't say, it's a 3/10 once it's been fully stationed. With flying and death touch, which he did say, but that makes it very hard to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a big ol' ass. That is thick with like 5 C's. Yeah, that is that is neat. That's why in my multiplayer like discard decks I always played blue and black and ran things like Howling Mine and Propaganda or not. Yeah, Propaganda. Is that the one? Whatever. No, Propaganda's the Don't Attack Me. But yeah, the things that made everybody draw so that people would have cards in hand for me to make them discard for them to take damage.
Might be what you're thinking of.
Prosperity. No. Mm-hmm. Is that everybody draws?
Yeah, a blue and X, everybody draws.
Okay, yeah. I knew it started with a pro. And sorry, living in 2025, propaganda was the first word that came to mind. I don't understand why. Chat mentioned Faller's Faithful earlier, and I read this, and I don't... What? So for 2 and a black, let me read it out loud. It's a 3/1 human wizard that's uncommon. Okay. When this creature enters, destroy up to 1 other target creature. Okay. That's good. If that creature wasn't dealt damage this turn, its controller draws 2 cards. Oh, okay. So you can use it to like blow up one of your less useful things. Oh, a stupid token? I'd rather have 2 cards. Whoop, whoop. Or you can use it essentially as a way to finish. What's the... There have been cards in, I think, black and red where destroy a creature that was dealt damage this turn.
That was dealt damage, yeah. Like assassins, like Kevin.
Yeah.
Steve.
Sorry.
Kevin was the guy that played Howling Mine. That's a very strange card. Like...
Yeah.
At its most basic, it says play this, kill a creature, its controller draws 2 cards, which... sucks, but the whole damage thing there makes me go, oh, there are uses.
Also, the ability to, while a lot of the black cards that have had this, destroy something that's been dealt damage, sometimes the opponent can read that and play around that. But with this, you can just be like, well, kill that. If you draw 2 cards, you draw 2 cards, but I really want to destroy your whatever's going to kill me first thing.
Yeah. Definitely a weird one.
Yeah.
Ow. Party Jace also makes discard more fun. Which one's Party Jace? Is that Baby Jace? Who's Party Jace? There have been so many Jaces. I don't know all their nicknames.
I don't know either.
I always ran Baby Jace in every multiplayer discard incarnation too, because his +2 was everybody draw a card. Right?
So I swear I've seen a lot of this set because I've been drafting and doing stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen the Monoist Circuit Feeder. It's a Nautilus.
Oh, it's cute.
Which makes me go, huh. So for 4 and 2 black, it's an artifact creature Nautilus. It's an uncommon. It's a 4/4 for 6. That's with flying. That's decent stats. When this creature enters until end of turn, target creature you control gets +X/+0, and target creature an opponent controls gets -0/-X, where X is the number of artifacts you control.
Wow.
That's a huge shift.
Perfectly unbalanced, as all things should be.
Should be. The fact it itself is an artifact. With this, all it takes is this and one other creature, and you're like, hey, this other thing gets +2/+0, and by the way, your other thing that's a X2 or below is now dead. Yeah.
And I have a 4/4 flyer now, so deal with that, idiot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not broken, but that feels very good, especially for limited.
Oh yeah, this is gross and limited.
Yeah, it's probably too expensive for constructed unless you're doing some sort of weird thing, in which case, all right.
Donovan Bain said Party Jace used to be known as Baby Jace before they printed actual Baby Jace, who I'd forgotten about, and so now they changed OG Jace to Party Jace, and everything is changing so fast and my knees hurt. Dude, same. Do you wake up in the morning and your everything hurts for no reason? You probably remember alliances. So should we talk about some of the ramifications of this that Dirk wanted us to get into?
Yes.
Before it gets late and we lose everybody?
Too late. No.
Well, good night, everybody.
I'm kidding.
Oh, wait a minute.
So what I had...
No, wait. I forgot. I've got it set as the background for the stupid stream, but we never talked about the damn dragon. What color is the dragon? I thought it was multicolored. Is it red?
Which dragon?
The nebula dragon. I forgot what it's called.
Nova dragon?
Nova Hellkite. Yeah.
There's a nebula dragon and a Nova Hellkite, and they're both dragons.
So... I did not realize there were both of those. But yeah, I've got the Nova Hellkite set up as the backdrop for the main discussion screen here.
Its art is ridiculously good.
It is so good. So for 3 red, it's a rare dragon. Oh my god. It's a 4/5 with flying and haste. When it enters, it deals 1 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Well, that's just adorable. Oh, and it has warp. Okay, warp for 2 and a red. So you can double dip on this. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, and the fact that it has haste. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, and at 2 and a red, that's the stage of the game where you're probably actually going to be able to kill something with that 1 damage.
Yeah. And get in for 4, and have it sitting there to threaten your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there in exile going, you ready? You ready? Huh? You ready? 2 more turns. Woo! I love the, this is going to sound weird, but I love the weird psychological mind games that warp can, cause. Like, you can have, like a Nova Hellkite, a flying haster that can potentially kill something just sitting there. You've got 5 mana, so your opponent knows it. He's probably planning for it, which means there's a chance that you can play other stuff that is maybe not equally as scary, but, scary enough to be worth a removal spell, and they might not kill it because you've got a dragon coming next turn, or maybe the next turn, or maybe the next turn. They don't know. And it also might make them, because it's sitting there where they can see it, like it might make them leave open mana that they should be using to develop their board.
Yeah.
And I just like the way this warp mechanic just can get in someone's head. I mean, against more experienced players or better players, you know, they're going to react to what's happening rather than what could happen. But, you know, the people I play with, look at these nerds. I mean, dorks. I don't know. I just like that. I could see this, like, in arena, an opponent going, I better hold this, you know, removal spell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've got a 5-drop I could play, but I'm only going to play a 2-drop. Is it just me? Does that make sense?
No.
Am I thinking too hard about this?
No, I'm absolutely with you.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
I think it's good. And then you can be like, well, clearly he's planning for this because he just passed with 5 mana open. So let me do something else. Like, I don't know, warp another one.
Oh. Now you're just being mean.
Well, yeah. And then I'll bounce your land.
Now you're just being a dick. But but yeah, I don't know. That just occurred to me at some point earlier, and I didn't say it, but getting to the Nova Hellkite, I'm like, It is weird that the thing that is obviously a nebula is called a Nova Hellkite, and the Nebula Dragon is just a space dragon that has nothing to do with the nebula. But, you know, which possibly has a nova happening in the background. But, you know, whatever. It could have been a Nebula Hellkite and a Nova Dragon.
Could have been.
I'm just saying. Anyway, okay, sorry. But like I said, I had that set as our background image here, and I forgot to talk about it earlier. I scrolled past it twice and was like, got to come back to that, and then didn't. So, okay. Like I said, let's go to some of the other stuff that we got. We could talk about here. The ramifications of a Magic in Space set. Dirk, you were getting started. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Well, there was the question of,
Go ahead.
well, there was a question about what we could talk about with it. And one of the things a couple things that I asked was, will we see more Magic in space? So that's the first question. So because this is the first set that's actually been, that if it will be taking place in space, has a science-y fiction theme to it. And the science-y fiction theme is not new, and because I believe it was a Neo Kamigawa.
Neon Dynasty.
Neon Dynasty. Wasn't that the first one that was really set in the far off future?
I mean, no, it was set in what it represented was there was such a time jump from the last time we were in Kamigawa to now, plus the advances of essentially technology as well as their communion or lack thereof with the spirit world. So when you talk about the future, keep in mind you're talking about different worlds. So different worlds progress at different rates. I was never a Star Trek fan, but don't they have like a prime directive where they're like, yo, we're going to go check out all these here planets. And some of these planets may be, you know, their civilizations may be at the age of the Stone Age. This one might be at the Bronze Age. This one might be, you know, building spaceships. So we should try not to like let the Bronze Age ones revere us as gods or something. Am I misstating the prime order or whatever?
I mean, the prime directive is don't interfere with
any non-warp based society. Like, if they reach the ability to do warp speed, then the Federation can contact them and so on. But if
interfere all you want,
right. but if they have not developed faster than light technology, then they are like, you are not to interrupt with you're not to interact, disrupt them, anything like that.
Okay.
It's also funny because the Prime Directive exists solely as a plot element to be broken constantly. But anyway, keep going.
Okay, so Neon Dynasty is at a further point in time than the last time we were on Kamigawa by quite a bit. But when you're talking about is something in the future or not, according to strictly where we are in the Magic timeline, I would say no, only because when there is a set that is set back in time, like Brothers War, because Teferi went back in time, it's clear that, hey, this is the past. Whereas Neon Dynasty is happening at the same time as the sets around it. But it is a more futuristic society. Yes.
Well, that's really what it comes to, is if we're talking about timelines and stuff like that, we're looking at things that are futuristic in this.
Okay. So, just want to make sure we were on the same page.
Yeah.
Futuristic. Check.
So,
Now,
we've got that. This is
technically, Magic has gone to space before. But it was an unset, so it does not count.
Yeah, that
Totally
doesn't
does not
count.
Thank you.
But here's the thing.
Also sorry, my connection's been cutting in and out. You could also bring up the Warhammer 40K Commander set, exploring the spacefaring sci-fi setting.
To a lesser extent, yeah, since it's an outside IP. But yeah, that is dipping the Magic toe into that. Correct.
Yeah. Whenever you get into the expanded worlds, what is the name for that? We're talking about like Final Fantasy, Spider, Universes Beyond, then it definitely muddies the water. I know we've had this discussion relating to like standard or whatever, but as far as we know, in a Magic storyline, Jace is not planeswalking to interact with Cloud and Aerith and see if he can go on a date with Cloud at the Gold Saucer. Although now I'm writing that fan fiction in my mind. But Jace, gets rejected. But as far as like Magic's own IP, this set definitely does change things, because before it was always the Blind Attorneys. And what did we know about the Blind Attorneys? We knew that Planeswalkers were the only ones asterisk there that could travel through the Blind Attorneys without dying, and that's what kind of made them special. And that's why in the early days of Magic, Phyrexia and Yawgmoth had to figure out ways to get around that. And they also created like the Thrawn portals to try to circumvent that. Not to Sarkon Vol that's something different. But to circumvent
Turn it into a dragon?
Yeah, I mean that might work. But you also had like the Weatherseed ship, and that was able to transport people through the Blind Attorneys even without them being planeswalkers. So there was the rule: only planeswalkers can exist in the Blind Eternities. But then you had these workarounds, and then the apocalypse happened, and then the mending happened, and they tightened down on that. And they made it clear, okay, the portals don't exist anymore. We want to focus on planeswalkers, the reduced power planeswalkers, and this is going to be the story. But then they started to back off on that as well, and one of the first signs of that is, believe it or not, the Eldrazi, because the Eldrazi are what? They are native to the Blind Eternities. They also had some discussion with Ugin when they managed to blow up some of them, and Ugin was like, you don't understand. The Eldrazi that you see on a plane are like the physical manifestations of these things. The Titans themselves exist on a higher level. I think he makes an analogy of like if a giant dipped its toe into a pond, the fish would see that toe and be like, oh my god, whereas 90% or more of the giant, probably more like 99, is not even in the pond, but they all worship the toe. So I think that's kind of a loose interpretation of
There's
what
at least
Ugin
one
said.
foot guy listening to this going, yeah. Yeah. You know what,
and
foot guy? I see you and I don't judge you.
I've also been talking for 5 minutes, so I'm gonna let somebody else say something. But that was now. Well, I guess where I was going with it is now we don't have just the blind eternities. We have space. So where it turns out there's creatures and planets and dragons. Oh my! So I'm
Yeah, it's been really unclear to me for a long time how the how the bigger picture cosmology of individual planes work. It's like, because it makes no sense that a plane is an entire universe, what we would think of as a universe, and we're just focusing on this one part. That's dumb. That makes no sense. So they must be these small, like little, almost like little pocket universe astrolabe things. If you were to take a look at a plane and see it in its entirety for what it represented. So each plane can't be its own universe. So it didn't make sense to talk about, the space and other planets and what the stars in the sky are for other planes, or at least no one stopped and really talked about it in detail or considered it. But even so, here we're still talking about just like a little area. A star system is big, but it's certainly not as big as a star system is a lot bigger than a planet, but it's certainly not near as big as a galaxy or anything larger than that.
Yeah.
Well, also keep in mind on different planes where those were, I think you're right, they were more treated as like pocket universes.
Mm-hmm.
Something like Theros, they had a sky and they had stars and things in the skies, but those stars were really a representation of Nyx, where the gods lived. So
That's true. That's a good point. That's one where it was all explained.
well, thank you. But that was a special case where they made a point of, like you said, explaining it.
Yeah.
So now that they have established space as a place where they can set magic sets, are they going to do it again? I think part of it depends on whether or not this set is a success. Although with
Sounds like it is.
time, I would even make the argument that with time, I don't know that even matters, because when Kamigawa came out, people were not 100% sold on it. And then when Mirrodin came out, well, no, Mirrodin came out first.
Mirrodin was first,
So,
yeah.
so when Kamigawa came out, people were like, okay, but then Mirrodin was still there. So, and then Ravnica came out, and people were like, Kamigawa, what? Because
Kamigawa didn't get a fair shake because it was, I mean, it was a good set, but they were intentionally trying to bring the power level down, and nobody likes that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It was sandwiched between super powerful Mirrodin and super exciting Ravnica.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And, yeah.
Like as much as everyone complained about how Mirrodin was overpowered, when they said, "Okay, well then we'll bring the power level down," everybody went, "Oh, set sucks." Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened
again,
with Mercadian Masks too. That they
Yeah.
pulled back on the power.
And I'm not attacking Kamigawa.
No, you're
but
not. But a lot of people did.
A lot of people did. My point is, when they announced that we were going back to Kamigawa, people lost their minds because over time, people were like you said, it didn't get a fair shake, and some people were like, you know what, the mythology was pretty cool, and we'd like to see them do more. So
Mhm.
my point, so when I started
Yeah,
to say, well,
and especially doing more with learning all the world building lessons that had well that they had learned in the intervening years, because one of the problems with Kamigawa was that they went like too hardcore in-depth specific with the references.
Yeah.
So a lot of the references didn't feel like references. They just felt like weird fantasy stuff.
Yeah, like this.
And people didn't
This
connect to them.
isn't
So
this isn't referencing Japan. This is just fantasy Japan. Or
right.
yeah, even though there
But
were
so
like serious hardcore, Japanese and Shinto specific references in there, they were too obscure for the for the
right.
audience.
So where I was going is, on one hand, are we more likely to come back if the set sells well? Yes. But on the other hand, given enough time, some people would be like, you know what, that set was pretty cool. We want to, and the setting was unique. We want to see it again. So, do I think we're coming back either way? I think it really depends on whether or not people want us to come back. And I think
Hmm.
that there's enough. I haven't taken a poll, but I think it's popular enough that yes, I think it's different. It's different from what we've seen before. It's kind of a unique space. Um, they've
Hey.
done some interesting things with these starcrafts, but you can't tell me they've exhausted that space, not even a little bit. There's a lot more they could do with that. Um,
And even if it's not this setting, a space setting in the future is very possible. Just in the sense that as the years go by, it'll just have been enough time will have passed that it makes sense to go back. It's like this is something I remember reading a long time ago in one of Mark Rosewater's articles, that they had they for a while they had this mindset, was like they didn't want to go back to anything because it was like, oh, we already did that. But when you're talking about, okay, yeah, you already did it, but that was 12 years ago. you know, there, there's so many people playing the game right now who
that weren't, yeah,
never touched those cards and hardly know anything about them. It's okay to go back and try that again if it was, well, not even try that again, do it again if it was good the first time.
yeah,
You can
agreed.
do it again. It's okay.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you could also take something where, and I've not read this story yet. I don't know if the black hole collapsed and it doesn't exist anymore, or if everybody's still there, or what. But you could also, because it's space, you can come back next time to a planet or a system or something that isn't this, and you can start out like, if you want, the first part of the story is this person and the antagonist or the protagonist on the planet, and then you kind of push out a bit and they discover, oh, there's this bigger world around them, and the set can be a bit of exploration of, maybe half on the planet, kind of like working in the geography and things like that, as well as the rest set in space or something like that. Point is, you can do so much with this that it's hard to believe they won't come back again to exploit it, to use, no, to molest, no, to get money out
bruh,
of it. Yeah, yeah.
Archbishop. Oh,
Archbishop,
I just thought
Archbishop's blessing, no, or charm,
there's even
Archbishop's charm.
there's even the possibility for them to come back to it in a D&D set if they want to do a spell jammer.
I was thinking that
That
too.
that is true.
and again,
Dirk
I
also,
usually rely on Brian for the story stuff, but like, this isn't just set in space, right? Like, this is in a particular place, right?
yeah, it's the super void system place.
Okay, so like, they don't even have to come back here specifically.
Hmm.
They could just do a more different thing that involves space. Like Brian said, it doesn't have to be a space set. Like, they could work up toward, or just involve spaceships somehow.
It's true.
You know, we've got vehicles were invented for the set that involved vehicles, but I'm pretty sure we've had vehicles in damn near every set since then.
A lot.
And same with
I think the only reason they aren't in this set is because it'd be too confusing side by side with spaceships.
Yes.
Yeah.
And having crew and station in the same set would feel well.
That's just
I say that.
overwhelming.
I say that, but in the Wild West set, we did have crew. Well, yeah,
And
we had
mount.
crew
Mount.
and
Well,
mount,
crew
but those
and
are the
mount
same
so
thing.
similar.
Yeah,
That having the brain space crossover is fine. Crew and station are different enough that having the brain space crossover is confusing.
that's true. Yeah, so I do think that having both in the set would probably be an issue. Dirk, in your text, you also mentioned like, hey, is there anything that maybe could have been done better in this set? And I think that's one that maybe we'll have to look back a little further down the road because right now it's kind of shiny and new. I like Station, and I think there's a lot of applications here. I do question having Station in Standard at the same time as Survivor, is whether or not that's wise, because I've seen a whole lot of decks that are like, hey, you know, turn 3 play a Station land, turn 4 play, is it Kona? And unless they have instant speed removal, they're just going to be like, and I'll drop a 10/10. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So having those two mechanics in Standard at the same time feels like an interesting choice. But I think Station is an interesting one. And I think Warp is wild. And it is amazing to see some of the applications of it. So I don't know that I can really say if there's anything they could do better or not if we return.
I mean, one thing I think they could have done better is named what vehicles do something other than crew, so that they could name the space station thing crew.
Yeah,
It's pretty clear that when they
that's too
made
bad.
what was that, Kaladesh?
I think that was the first one, right?
I think so. That they
Yeah,
did
it
not envision spaceships.
Yeah,
yet.
that was long enough ago to where that wasn't even on the whiteboard.
No. Maybe one person on the idea board was like spaceships, and somebody else was like, "What?" and like makes a point of erasing it and glares.
Yeah,
at
I can
that
see
person.
Rosewater like, yeah, okay, we'll get to that in a few years, I guess.
Good job with the voice.
I like where your headspace is, but let's not do that right now. That was not meant to be in any way derogatory towards Rosewater. He just has a very distinct voice that I cannot do very well.
He has a very distinct voice, and every time he's done like a presentation, I know that it's him because it's distinct.
Yeah. So another thing Dirk mentioned, Dirk, you've been awful quiet through all this, is do you think there will, like vehicles being in damn near every set since their inception, do you think that the spaceships will, or spacecraft will be a thing moving forward? I don't necessarily know how, but
Well, here's the thing.
what's the thing?
Where my mind kind of went was in this. There was an article that was put out about a day or two after I sent this text message with this, that said that Universes Beyond, because it's had such great success and everything, that, you know, what are some other IPs they could be looking at? Well, because of the spaceship property, spaceship, you know, mechanic and everything, what sort of universes could we go to next? And what are the two big ones that
saying.
showed up in that article?
And Dirk immediately went to Star Wars.
That's the one. That's one of them.
And the other one has a Prime Directive.
That is correct.
Are the ones that have Star in the name.
That is correct.
Stargate.
So,
does Star Wars have an active card game right now?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
So that's the thing, is we could be looking at another potential universes beyond Star Wars, Star Trek. You threw out Stargate 2 while we're at it. Why not?
Now,
I mean,
they have to go.
If you really wanted to play this up, if they I know they did a Commander set with Doctor Who, but I mean, there are spaceships in Doctor Who where they technically could revisit this and make a set out of it. And we've got Warhammer 40K that we could do this as well, because they didn't have any ships in that. But again, you could make a set out of that.
Yeah, and crewing isn't limited to spaceships, because there are also the I keep saying crew. Stationing isn't limited to spaceships, because they also have the planets that you can station. They don't turn into creatures, that just represent abilities. So stationing could also be used on other things. Maybe not planets, maybe fortresses or something. I don't know.
I was just thinking, it's like you reached into my brain. For the last couple minutes, I've been trying to let Dirk talk, because I'm trying not to step over him. And I had the thought of, like, even if we don't do spacecraft, we can definitely do station. And in my head, I thought of a fortress or fortification that you could station with creatures. And Mike was right there, and it's like, yoink. And I'm like, yeah. Or some kind of like ballista. You could station like a ballista or some sort of large weapon.
Yes, that's good. It's too bad they've already used the name fortification on the throwaway card.
For a terrible thing.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, stuff like that, because unlike vehicles where, any place can have chariots and trains and magical helicopters and whatever, not every place can have a spaceship. That just doesn't make sense. But you can find other ways to apply station in ways that would make sense.
That is true. When they do Lord of the Rings 2, since it was the best-selling Magic set of all time, they're going to do a sequel. When they do Lord of the Rings 2, then Helm's Deep could have station.
Yeah.
Oh,
Minas Tirith.
station! Because men are stationed there.
Ah, yes.
Suddenly, that sounds a lot less awful. Like when we have people stationed here. Oh. Yeah, Lord of the Rings 2, Ring Harder. There you go.
Yeah. We got another good suggestion in the chat, Spaceballs.
That would make a great unset.
It would.
Oh, and they're making the sequel, although they've like basically just started working on it. So the search for more money.
Yeah.
Spinal Tap is coming out next month.
Is it really?
It is.
You're
my
kidding.
God. This is Spinal Tap is one of the
Spinal
greatest.
Tap 2, The End Continues.
That is so
I thought you were joking.
I mean, they were too.
They made another Happy Gilmore movie, so I guess nothing is off the table. So, hey, did you grow up in the 80s? Well, you remember that thing? It's time to do that thing again.
We're able to get these guys after 40 years to do a sequel.
I'm just waiting for the Gargoyles cartoon, season whatever, pick up and actually give them like the DuckTales treatment or something, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm done. My life is over. In a good way, not a bad way. I guess it depends on how it's done. I should stop thinking about this.
But yeah, that was one of the things I was wondering with, is that you guys have pointed out some really good things with, is that station doesn't necessarily have to be ships or planets. Right. It could be a lot of things that's something I wonder if they'll potentially do, is look at low, like when they say lands, I mean it could just be lands. It'd be the new mechanic that could be going with lands and whatnot. Hmm. So, but that was one of the things that I thought would be a great discussion to have is, do we see this coming back? Do we see like this set brings up a lot of really cool things, and it's kind of like what was the time spiral block where that set had a lot of, we're rethinking a couple things and we're gonna try some things out. That this set kind of has a little bit of that going with it, where we're trying out a couple different things with station, trying it on different things, not just artifacts but also lands, stuff like that. Like, is this set sort of one of those where we're kind of trying things out in the main set to see if this is something we want to move forward with, or if this is going to crash and burn and we're going to rethink and go back to like steampunk or fantasy kind of setting.
That is a good point. So, on a completely unrelated note, but I can't not have a thought and then not share it. An IP that I was thinking about a few days ago, thinking this would make a really great like side-scrolling beat 'em up. That would also make a really cool for old people Universes Beyond thing, like maybe just a Commander decks or something. Is Masters of the Universe. It's got magic.
Yeah, that is.
It's got fantasy. It's got sci-fi. It's got space.
It's got Dolph Lundgren.
It's got Dolph Lundgren if you want. It's got, good versus evil. It's got factions.
And there could be a He-Man, commander deck and a She-Ra commander deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the cat's name when he was a coward?
Cringer.
Cringer, that's right. Yeah, because he cringes. So,
I guess nowadays, Cringer would just say socially awkward things, right? Because that's so cringe. I hate children. Except for Sam. Sam did not say anything was cringe the whole time that we were together. Despite thinking it, I'm sure.
She don't want to hurt your feelings.
About me.
I will instruct her to tell you everything is cringe the next time she sees you.
Yeah, tell her to send me a text. Be like, you are cringe. And then I'll just cry. So what else did we want to talk about here in the last little bit before we lose Dirk?
So we talked about set. We talked about. I mean, again, I think they'll come back. I think they'll definitely use some of these mechanics again. Station is just too much fun, even if the naming could have been better.
I do like it better now that my brain has hit on you station troops there, Like, they could have called it Garrison, but I think they've already used that, too.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah. Dirk, you did mention as a topic, like, which cards could be good commanders.
Oh, the legendary ones. We mentioned last week that legendary vehicles and spacecraft can be commanders now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
How many legend? How? Yeah. If it can become a creature,
new rules change with this set.
If it is legendary and if it can become a creature on its own, like not I cast animate artifact on this. So if it has a printed power and toughness, like a vehicle or a starcraft, it can be a commander. How many legendary spacecraft are in this set?
Legendaries. I can only think of 2 off the top of my head. There might be more.
Is it the Sarima and the multicolored one, right?
Oh, then there's 3 because Dawnsire is.
Is Dawnsire legendary?
I thought it was.
Yep. And so is the Eternity Elevator.
Oh,
But that doesn't have a power toughness. It can't
Oh
be.
yeah, okay, so that can't be one.
I don't think we actually talked about the Wooburg one.
No.
So do we want to talk about that real quick, and then we'll see if there's anything else we want to talk about?
What? There's a Wooburg one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a space station.
Oh, the Infinite
Guideline Station.
All right. What does that do?
Lots. So Infinite Guideline Station costs a Wooburg. White, blue, black, red, green. 5 mana. For a rare legendary spacecraft. When it enters, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. And it has station. It has one station level that needs at least 12 counters. It turns into a 7/15 with flying, and it gains this ability. Whenever Infinite Guideline Station attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control.
I don't know if we've mentioned this on the show or not between last week and this week, but cards with station sometimes feel like they have haste. They don't unless it specifically says it. But most of the time, in my experience, you're not fully stationing it the first time you play it. But if it's like any other permanent, when it becomes a creature, if it's already been on your battlefield for over a turn, it can go and attack. And so most of the time, so Mike, do you know what I'm talking about? Like as far as how it feels?
Yeah.
Well, because it
once you
wasn't a
finally-
creature,
Once you finally,
and then it's a creature and it can swing.
yeah,
Right.
once you've finally woken it up, it's probably been on the battlefield long enough.
Right. And so sometimes, especially if you're clocking the opponent's station, you're like, okay, well, they still need another like 6 power to station it, so I'm good. And then they're like warping this guy, tap these, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot. So these things that have these attack triggers or things like that, it may be going off faster than you would expect. And this, yeah. So this checks some of the boxes for Commander. It lets you play any color, which I've personally gotten a little tired of, like Wooburg good stuff Commander decks. But you know, okay, I see him in Brawl on Arena quite a bit. But hey, somebody wants to play their cool stuff. I get it. So this lets you play anything, and it rewards you for playing multicolored stuff because then you get more golems, or sorry, robots, not golems, and you draw more cards and stuff. So it's to the point where it's so open-ended, it really asks the question of like, well, what exactly do you want to do with it?
Yeah, remember, kids, fantasy robots are golems. Sci-fi golems are robots.
But yes, there are 3 legendary spacecraft and no legendary worlds or planets.
No. Which couldn't become creatures anyway, unless they did.
Well, and even if they could, they're not on the list for being able to be commanders,
Right.
so that's a non-starter.
Right. So.
But there have been lots of legendary vehicles over the years that can now be commanders.
Yeah.
But just
You can,
to clarify,
yeah, you can,
legendary artifacts that don't become creatures, like you can't have like a Mindslaver as your commander. Is that legendary? It should be.
It's legendary.
Yeah.
it's legendary.
Unless you
Ugh.
have a house rule and your other buddies let you, but don't take that to a shop or an event because they won't let you. Anyway. Hey, Umpax. Umpax said, I was shocked when I learned you can station with a new creature and lost. Yeah, it works like crewing a vehicle because it's not a tap ability on the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's how it works so well with warp.
Yeah.
Because the warped creature does not have to have haste.
But yeah, I do, going back to Dirk's earlier point, I do wonder if this okay, if I was super so, which even I'm not this cynical, but I did have the thought. I wonder if they made a set involving spacecraft so that they could have that tech available for when they do Universes Beyond sets for, Star Wars or whatever.
I feel like if they were going to do that, they would just do it. And they would be unapologetic about it. They'd be like, hey, this is a Star Wars set. There's Star Wars. It's Star Wars, so it's,
But if
spacecraft.
they're
Here you
going to
go.
put the money into that IP, they're not going to be like, all right, we're going to try this out in the Star Wars set and find out that it bombs.
You don't think they would? I think they would be like, here's something completely unique that you've never seen before.
That's kind of why I'm thinking
on it.
this was probably the training ground to see. We're going to see how this works, how this plays. And if this works, then they're probably going to see about getting those licenses.
Because we don't want to risk it being stupid in the set that really matters.
Maybe, but I'm of the I see where you're coming from.
Even I'm not that cynical.
I think that they would, if they got the Star Wars thing, they would do it no matter what. They like, the trick to them is getting the IP, and then they're gonna figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, like, you don't really need spacecraft and station. You can do all of Star Wars with vehicle and legendary artifacts for Death Stars and be good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tap Chewie, the other one, Rar, to crew the Millennium Falcon, which makes sense for a turn he's tapped because he's piloting it, and there you go.
Ooh, Donovan Bain.
But just think about a Death Star planet with a 40+ station ability.
Yeah, and then it taps to exile target opponent.
Yeah.
Which actually would work pretty well. It would be a horrible waste of a Death Star, though. But anyway, Donovan Bade said warp is the glue between station, the playing two spells things, and void. Yes. Landers are the glue between artifacts, landfall, and void. This set is very well constructed. What are landers? I've missed landers entirely.
The landers are the tokens that have the ability pay to tap rampant growth. Pay to tap sack rampant growth.
I forgot all about those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a new type of token along with food and, treasure and that sort of thing. Yeah, I agree. All of these things are done in such a way that any one mechanic supports itself and two other things.
Yeah.
There is, so I know we're wrapping up. There is a green card that I think appeals to literally every single person in our group.
Ooh, which one?
Because it's kind of crazy. Hey, Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking for. I will know it when I see it.
Oh my god.
Dirk, the Ice Till Explorer, in green. Read the Ice Till Explorer.
All right. Ice Till Explorer for 2 and 2 green, so a total of 4. It's a 2/4 insect scout that's rare. You may play an additional land on each of your turns.
I love it.
Okay. You may play land from your graveyard.
Mike loves it.
It has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, mill a card.
No, that's Mike again.
Yep.
It's great.
So it's green, so Dirk loves it. I'm sorry, but
I do.
And then Chewie loves the play an additional land, and Mike loves everything else on this card. But this card,
I think everyone loves the 2/4 that lets you play an extra land, like 2/4 exploration. Yeah.
Yeah. This thing is insane. I drafted one of these, and I was like, "Am I going to mill myself out? Maybe." And I won a game with like 2 cards left in my library, because when this gets started, that last ability is not a May, by the way.
It is not.
No. But I had this card, and then there's another green card that when it enters, you can sacrifice any number of lands, and it can do silly things, and the Famished World Sire. So, Chewy, read the Famished World Sire real quick.
Is that also in green?
It's also in green.
Fungal Famished World Sire. Wait, World
Played
Sire?
the two of these together and almost decked myself.
All right, 5 and 3 green for a 0/0 Mythic Leviathan with Ward 3. Yep, that's a bargain right there. It has Devour Land 3. Oh my god, Devour.
Yeah, taking it back.
What? So, wow. So Devour Land 3 means as it enters, you can sacrifice any number of lands, and it'll get 3 times the number of lands you sacrifice, number of +1/+1 counters. So, if you pay 8 and sack 2 lands, then it's a 6/6.
Yeah.
So Ward 3, Devour Land 3, so you can pick a size, essentially. When this creature enters, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is this creature's power. Oh god. Put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Oh, okay. Now I see.
So I had out the insect. I played this, and I'm doing the math, and I'm like, okay, I sack 5 lands. So I have a 15/15, and then put a bunch of... I think I only put like 3 new lands into play, but I then... When that happened, I milled 3 more cards into my graveyard, and then replayed.
Now you're at -6.
And then I replayed 2 of the lands that I devoured.
Now you're at -8 cards in your library.
So I was at 2 cards left in my library, and my opponent just straight up scooped because I had a 15/15.
He couldn't do anything with.
And that was in limited, and I probably should not have done that.
Man, I would have played that out unless I had nothing to stand in the way, because this thing has no removal or no evasion.
It has Ward 3, but also in limited, you only have access to whatever removal you get. And I get what you're saying about evasion as far as things that can chump this, but...
Yeah, like, I would have played that out just to see if I could hold on long enough to make your dumbass deck yourself.
But this was also like turn 6 or 7 because I've been playing land so fast.
Oh, that's true.
So, yes, it was way too early, but...
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I'm probably fudging some of this math here. Maybe I sacked 6 lands instead of 5, but yeah.
Yeah, Brian, I think you had left the call when I talked about it. I didn't tell you. It was soon after we had talked about... It was soon after Final Fantasy had come out on Arena. And I told Chewy and Dirk that I had made a standard Brawl Diamond Weapon deck that was all permanents. And
you hadn't told me that.
No, I hadn't. And I've added Ice Tail Explorer to it, and it's amazing.
Oh, I believe
now, there are
that.
many opponents I've come across who have decks that can just handle an 8/8 for 2 over and over again, and that kind of sucks. But the opponents who can't do that, it's amazing.
Does that actually reduce the commander tax?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Cost reductions are applied after cost increasers.
I'm now afraid of Mike. I've always been afraid of Dirk, but now I'm afraid of Mike too.
I thought you were going to say, I've always been afraid of Diamond Weapon, which, yes, should be.
No, he took his sister right to the face.
Yeah, I was about to say, unless it took a sister rate shot to the face.
Good lord. Should we wrap
Spoiler
this up?
alerts.
Should we wrap this up,
Spoiler alert
gentlemen?
for like a 30-year-old game.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know.
Yes. We should wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Like a hot
So,
dog.
I have nothing. I was gonna say something pithy to try to wrap up the whole conversation, but nope. I think we covered it all pretty well. So how about some final thoughts then, my dorks?
What time is it? Okay, so I had a great time talking with you guys about this. My parents dropped off their dog, because so I guess on a somber note, my dad is not as young as he used to be. It's a sign that we are all steadily marching forward. And he had a friend, Wes, and he and Wes had known each other. Dad's in his 80s. I imagine Wes was about the same age because they met when they were roommates in college. And Wes just passed away earlier this week, so Dad is gonna go to the funeral, and it's out of town, so he left his dog with me. So I probably should be going to check on the dog and make sure she's doing okay. So I guess final thought: enjoyed the conversation, not just the cards, but also the greater context. And I guess if I'm being a bit philosophical, hey, my dad had a friendship that lasted 60 plus years, and even though they didn't see each other all the time, they kept up with each other. Their families knew what was going on, and so a little bit of positivity out of that, I suppose. So yeah, hope everybody's doing great, and I'm gonna go check on Libby. But everybody have a great night, and I'll talk to you again next week.
All right.
Bye, Brian.
Night, B. Dirk.
I was going through and trying to see. So when the He-Man Commander set comes out, it would be He-Man, She-Ra, Skeletor, and Hordak.
Hordak, yeah.
Would be the 4 commanders. Oh, so that was what I was looking at earlier and everything. I've been just trying to think about what the potential of this set. Like I said, this set is, to looking at the cards and everything and how everything works, I feel like it's a really cool set, and it's got a lot of introducing a bunch of new mechanics, which I think opens up additional doors for what can be done. Because this allows for, we want to go in and do, you don't have to worry about planeswalking, and it kind of gets around that a little bit. Because now, instead of like having a planeswalk to another world, you can just warp. Just take a spaceship. So, I feel like there's a lot that they can do story-wise with this, and I'm curious to see what happens. But I'm also, like we've been discussing, curious about universes beyond and where that's going to go with this. And yeah, I just don't know how they would do some of the additional sets beyond that. But like I said, I'm just curious. I was curious to have a discussion with the guys about this and see what their thoughts were, or if I'm just was being like, I think this, and it's like, no, they're not going to do that. That's dumb and whatnot. But I'm glad to hear that there's also that you guys have also been looked at this, and I mean there's a lot there that they can roll with and build off of.
Yeah, I think it's there's a lot of design space in here. It's definitely not a dead end or anything.
So yeah. And that's really what my thought was and everything. So just as Brian had gone on vacation, I had went on vacation last week and came back over the weekend, and I had a lot of fun. Won 2 trivia competitions, so those were good. Were a lot of fun to participate. I participated in quite a few of them, and there really was just a group of people, probably about 5 of us, that just showed up for almost all the trivias. And some of them were really great, and some of them were just awful. There was a science fiction trivia, and I was like, oh, well, we'll see what happens with this. I think that was the lowest scoring trivia of everybody. The winning person walked away with a trophy. Out of 20 questions that were asked, only got 8 right.
Yikes.
I had 7. So I'm like, this is how rough the science fiction section was, because there were some very specific things, and they were just from all over the place in terms of, and a lot of them were old, like, who was the replicate? I'm trying to think of from Blade Runner, replicant. Who was the replicant who was shot by such and such character? And I'm going, I haven't seen Blade Runner in forever. And so it was questions like that. So like that was a hard one, but like I said, all in all, it was a very fun cruise, and I'm thankfully at this point, I think I'm over the motion. Like when you're on a ship for a long period of time and you get off the ship, you still feel like you're on the ship, so you sway whenever you're sitting down. I think I'm over that now. But for the first couple days, if I was sitting down, you would watch me as I would be swaying in my seat because I still had the ocean movement going on in my brain. So, but that's my final thought. And with that, I'm gonna head on to bed. So, you guys have a wonderful evening.
Dirk?
Do what?
When do you go back to school?
Teacher work days start next week,
Oh, good lord.
and then school starts the week after.
Okay. Just trying to
So
keep
this
all
was
that straight.
my last week before everything starts happening. I've actually been going to school and getting stuff ready, because when next week they've got us doing meetings most of the week.
Mhm.
So I only will be in my room, I think definitely 1, but maybe 2 out of the 5 days next week. So I was like, well, I went to my room and started setting things up this week, so that way I'm not trying to get everything thrown together at the last minute before school gets in.
Yeah, heaven forbid they respect your time as a teacher.
Mm-hmm. So, but with that, I'm off to bed. So you guys all have a wonderful evening.
Night, Zerk.
All right, thanks, Dirk.
How about you there, Mr. Beardman?
Yeah, so the reason I got here late was because I was out in Morrisville for a little surprise retirement party for my dad at his work. So, yeah, my dad retired after a little over 40 years with the same company, which is something that's exceedingly rare nowadays.
Well, yeah, because most companies suck these days.
Yeah.
It's worse than ever.
I know. But yeah, it was great. Like usually he doesn't like surprises and parties and things, but like this was a small enough thing that he seemed to be really pleased with very pleasantly surprised. And he had a nice time talking to the people who were around and coming in and out, because there was still it was still his workplace, so there were people like poking their heads in from the office part of the building before going back to their desk to finish some stuff up before they left for the day. And there were guys coming in off the dock to the break room, to get a drink and say hey and eat some of the snacks and stuff that were set out. And he had a great time sitting around talking to people. Yeah, it's big. He's held some kind of job since he was like 12 or 13 years old. So it's going to be a big change for him. It's going to be a real big change for him.
Well, hopefully, your parents won't kill each other.
No,
That was like
I don't think they'll get on each other.
That was a real concern for me when both of them retired.
Yeah, that they'd just be up each other's noses and
yeah, but luckily the old man got the driving gig for the dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So while it wasn't the same as being a truck driver, gone for most of the week, it was enough for them, I think, to get used to each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now they're so cute. It's kind of gross. Like they sit around and pick at each other and do puzzles and watch TV. And I swear, I sometimes when I think about it, I barely recognize them as the people what raised me. So, if my old man can, adapt, I'm sure yours can.
Yeah, I'm confident that he'll find something to do that keeps him occupied and he feels is like a pleasant use of his time.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Do I have anything for final thought? I don't really. Nothing that comes to mind anyway. So hey, let me remind you, feel free to go to patreon.com/themanapool if you want to help support what we do here, what with the podcast and the streaming and the YouTube videos eventually. And let me thank our mythic lifeguards right now. Al, Kim Ho, Scuzzo, Jake Jansons, Michael, Timu Hellas Haryu, Violet Moon, formerly known as Mike. The long name?
Asmund Marquetas Caldicor.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't get that's where you were going with that.
Sorry. That was a little obscure. Jason Kaus, Casey, Jason Doan, ALK Alters, and Andrew Odie. Yay. I'm still just playing Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm so hooked. Like almost the entire pre-show odds and ends was me and Dirk talking about Baldur's Gate 3 and then talking about it at Brian. So it's a problem. But I'm almost done with Act 2, y'all. I thought I would finish it today, but it was longer than my 3.5 hour stream. Like, the climax of Act 2 is a long and involved affair. When you have to stop and loot every dead body and, look around at stuff, read all of the things that you find. I'm very thorough. I went through 6 combat encounters today after the third one I had used both of my short rests.
Right.
2 of which were very large. One of them was with a boss. Not the last one. The middle one was with a boss.
Oof.
So, and I've got more to go, and I'm determined I'm going to do it without going back to camp and taking a long rest, because I know the game doesn't care if I stop and go spend the night at camp to regain all my stuff, but it just feels wrong.
I get it.
Like, everybody in other parts of the place are like, all right, we'll keep a lookout for anybody trying to leave, and we'll keep the place locked down. You go handle the big bad. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go home and have a nap. I'll see y'all in the morning. But it's so good, y'all. What else do I have going on? I'm still playing Puzzle Quest. Puzzle Quest is really good.
Oh, good. Glad you're still
I'm
having
also
fun with
choking
it.
occasionally. Do what?
So I'm glad you're still having fun with it.
I mean, I don't know if I'm having fun with it. The various encounters now are either a joke and are really simple, or are like teeth grinding, want to rip my own hair out, frustrating. Like, sometimes the game just goes, you're not going to win. Screw you. right before we started I actually got back here, early.
Yeah.
And before the pre-show even. So I fired up Puzzle Quest and I was trying to do a siege of a place that had like 200 and some HP. Puzzle Quest, for those of you that don't know, is a match 3 RPG. And it's really well done. I keep having to rethink which spells I have equipped and which like what my gear is and whatnot, depending on what each encounter needs. But like it knocked me down to, at one point I was at 4 HP, but I've got a spell that regains me HP. And so I kept like hit you with a big damage spell, heal myself.
Uh-huh.
Are there any matches I can do that will help me? No. Hit you with a forest fire. Your turn. Okay, my turn. Are there any matches I can do that will help me? No. Heal myself. And I managed to get this thing. At one point, like I was at 4 and it was still at like 180 some HP. And I managed to whittle it down to like 30. And then it hit me with one of those, it did a match here, which caused 3 skulls to match up there, which caused 3 skulls to match over there, which caused 3 skulls to match over there, and I was dead. And I went, it took me like
That's
literally
awful.
25 minutes
Uh-huh.
to get it whittled down to where I was like, I can win this. And then I just died because screw you. Like all of this was off screen. It matched
That's terrible.
something that wasn't skulls.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was dead. I was like, and that seems to happen semi frequently enough. I rage quit that game more than I rage quit anything. I'm like, oh man, I hate this stupid game. Close it. Like an hour later, I'm like, all right, I bet I could probably beat that. But it really does feel like that the time for like the close ones, I lose out of nowhere, and that's so frustrating, especially when I've spent so long literally clawing my way back from the brink, and it's like, oh, sorry, you just took like 38 of this turn. There's nothing you can do.
Uh-huh.
Screw you. Like, anyway, it's still a good game though.
Good.
It's just occasionally frustrating. I guess that's enough of me rambling about nonsense. So hey, I want to thank everybody for listening. I don't say this much. Hey, go follow me over on BlueSky. It's themanapool. Whatever the usual thing is, bsky.social, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a concerted effort to spend more time there other than just doom scrolling. I have eased up on my doom scrolling a lot over the last few months, and even so, I'm still aware of all the horrible crap that's happening all the time. So, it's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even trying to stay, like, informed. It just happens. I'm like, oh, that happened today? Oh, that's probably not good. It's what I get for opening literally any social media ever. Also, if anybody has any good video game podcasts that aren't about like current events and news and new releases, I don't care about that. But like, I listen to Kane and Rents, which is a podcast where every episode they pick a game, sometimes a series if they're all very similar, but a game, and like do a 2-hour hard limit, 2-hour like dive on it. And then that's the episode. And I've been listening to them for years, and I'm finally caught up. Because they've been going almost as long as we have. They're, I don't know, 2 or 3 years behind us.
Mm-hmm.
But they actually release every week, so they're gonna catch up. But I'm caught up on that, and I don't know how to search for like video game podcast that isn't about current events or new releases. Like, I don't need to know about the news from the video game industry. It's all bad. Just like the news. So if anyone has any recommendations, for the love of God, let me know. Because I need more stuff to listen to. Because I know everyone's going to say, oh, the giant bomb kit. Nope, not that. Sorry. All right. So with that, that'll be episode 731 of The Mana Pool. Yeah, thank you all so very much for joining us. And don't crew your station. Or, wait, no, don't station your crew. Do crew your... Wait. Watch out for Steve. He's a terrible assassin.